What's going on, guys? So, first of all, I am not really sure if I am gonna upload this video. I'm not really sure why I'm doing this, but I guess I'm just getting things out of my chest, and I think this can create an opportunity for you guys to learn something too. Um, I just kind of feel like every time that something bad happens, something that's not that good happens, that more stuff comes into play, more things get into the more things getting more things, everything just accumulates, and instead of being fucked over just one thing and having one problem, you have an accumulation of things. And in this specific case, I am the one to blame, especially with the extra problems that I have, because it was stuff that I didn't care about. It was stuff that I left behind. So it is up to me to fucking deal with them. Um, but it's just hard, when it's really hard when things don't go according to your plan, you know. It's really hard when you have an expectation, or not so expectation, but a hope, and you in the end you're hoping that everything turns out okay and you get what you wish for, and then you don't, and then you don't get it. And yeah, and the thing that I want to tell you guys is that I know it sucks, and I know it is the worst feeling ever, and I guess I've talked about this, but you have to try and take initiative, take your life in order, improve yourself. I'm sorry. You have to try and create the happiness. You have to try and create all those things that you need first inside yourself, and then just expand it to others, to the world. And that's exactly what you have to do. That's exactly what um that's the starting point, and you can take some time to grieve, you can have your own time to complain about the situation, because you should have that time. But then just remember that sometimes things happen for a reason. Sometimes everything is put in front of us, or sometimes like whatever happens is meant to happen. Sometimes you shouldn't be able to control things, and it just happens, okay? And even if you controlled everything and you planned everything out and it doesn't work out, like I said, it's supposed to be that way. I think we shouldn't judge people so much. We shouldn't judge things, and we shouldn't be so heat up about stuff and problems, because life is all about ups and downs. That's it. Life is a constant challenge. And like I said in my previous videos on Instagram, life is about progression, is about evolution. It's not about building walls, but instead breaking them or not even having them. That's how you reach more people. That's how you reach further. That's how you go beyond your limits without being on your comfort zone, which is something that I want to talk about in a future video. The comfort zone and why it sucks. Stay there. But I don't judge people, and I try my absolute best to every time to do the right thing and to have in account like everyone, so to speak. I try to do what's best for everyone and try to come up at least with a halfway term, I guess, if something doesn't work out. And I try my best to, support the people that I love and that I care about. I try my best to look after mine. Okay, this stopped recording. But I try my best to look after my people. And I know that life is supposed to bring you down. You're supposed to get hurt. I'm gonna be real honest. You're supposed to get hurt. You're supposed to be hurt. That's how you're gonna grow. That's how you're gonna learn what you like and what you don't like. That's how you're gonna develop a personality. That's it. And I'm not entirely accepting that at this moment, because something has happened and I am completely like, why does that shit have to happen? And my arguments are that I gave everything. I opened up my heart completely, and I put it in real efforts, and I put it in real time to building something solid. Okay? To having something that it was all about evolution, about progression in life that could support you. And that's what I always try to do with kind of everything that's really fucking important to me. And yet I couldn't. And yet I don't put the blame on me or on the other person. Because, like, what you have to understand, and this is what I think, people are people. People have needs. People act according to something that they want. People will act because of something. Normally, people won't give value to you out of nowhere, because that's normal. We always want something first, so to speak, or we always want something we always want something out of what we give. That's it. And I don't judge that, because I know, and I've been in enough situations to understand how things work. But at the same time, I just I'm gonna record well now. Okay, I'm sorry. But at the same time, look, I never judge people, and I always try to accept the things that we can change. Because if someone has an opinion, no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you try to make them see the good side, the positive things, if they don't want to see it, they are not gonna fucking see it. You can't fucking rewire their brain to 100%. They gotta make an action. They gotta make a decision. It has to come from their fucking hearts, from their fucking minds. And you will never change someone at 100%. If you can, I clap to you. If you have good intentions, of course. If you're just a fuckboy and whatever, you have greater problems than you think. But you will learn all about that. You still have time. Enjoy while you can. But what I'm trying to say is that everyone is deserving to having an opinion, to having a belief, to having a certain value of how things should go, to having an idea of how they want things. And I respect that, and I absolutely fucking respect and understand and also wish for that. But at the same time, I can't stop to think that it is so easily to be beaten down by life. It is so easy to just things to bring you down. And that's what I am right now, because I know that I put in my best, and I know that I would not change absolutely anything of what I did. Anything. I assume mistakes that I did, even with this extra stuff that I'm talking about, extra problems, I assume that I did some mistakes there, and this is it. It all builds up until the final blow. That's all I gotta say. But with the major thing, I know I also did mistakes, and I know I also, one crucial mistake that I did, and one thing that I said, and the thing is that, in my opinion, if one mistake that can break all of your trust, if one thing is bigger than all the happiness, all the good stuff that you built, that you have created, if one mistake is bigger than a whole life, I can't understand that. I can't understand. Because in my opinion, everyone deserves a second chance. Every single little thing deserves a second chance. And I know if it hurts you once, guess what? It may hurt you again, but you will never know. And people do learn with their mistakes. People do understand after a while, if they understand what they did, they have a more clear vision of what they said, etc. And that's why I think everyone deserves a second chance. And I think you should, try and do that if it's right in your heart. If you don't think it is, then don't do it, okay? But if you are not giving second chances and not trying out stuff because you are afraid of getting hurt, even if you were so extremely hurt by one person, of course it depends on the situation, but even if you were so extremely hurt, in my opinion, and this is just me, and you can all disagree with me, you can say whatever you want, and I will accept it, but you are not living to your potential. Your life is not the 100% potential that it can be. I know it's crazy, but try it out. You will only understand what I'm saying if you try it out, if you test this out. If instead of getting hurt and closing down, you get hurt and you still open up. You still try to resolve things. You still look for the best, the most positive thing. And you don't try to bury things inside you and fill them up with shit to make them disappear, or make them feel like it hurts less. You are avoiding stuff. You are not moving on. You are not doing your potential. You're not reaching your potential of evolution, of progression. And I know this is a very vague concept, and I understand this, because you will only understand this after you make a commitment to doing this, after you have actually understood in your life how this applies. But what I'm telling you is that if you close down, you're not going to get shit. Now, it depends on the situation, and you should never feel like you're less. If you don't get what you are worth, if you don't get what you want, what you wish for, get out. Quit it out, because it's creating tension in you. But what I'm trying to say with this video is help you guys out, because I know that some situations suck, and some situations you're completely fucking broken and you don't know what to do next, guess what? You have to take initiative. You have to move on. And you have to understand what exactly you need to move on, what conditions you need. And it is not selfish to ask that. If someone broke you, if something broke you, you have to rebuild yourself at your own terms. That doesn't mean being a jerk and saying fuck off, this and that. It means actually getting to a half term and trying to do the best for both parts, for reaching a consensus, making sure that you can be mentally healthy to what's coming next, to be 100% free of baggage so that you can focus and you can achieve more. So, I guess that was the video. I just wanted to talk about this because, again, I had to take it out of my chest, but I know that by doing this, a lot of you will relate, because we get hurt. We get a lot of hurt in our lives. We have a lot of shit, and we should be able to deal with that. And it sucks. It is a complete, seriously, you feel so broken, and it's not to feel like a victim. It's everyone needs time to grieve, and everyone needs time for themselves, to build themselves, rebuild them. And I just wanna do this video to help you guys out, to know that it is part of life what happens. And yeah, and that's it. Some things you just have to accept it. You don't understand the reason, you try to look for the reason, you try to understand why something happened, and either there's no absolute reason, or in the end you are closing down and you don't want to accept, and you don't want to say the reason, you don't want to acknowledge it to 100% because you feel so hurt that you just want to cover it. Guess what? That's going to do much, much, much worse to you. It's gonna fuck you up. Anyway, this was the video. Thank you for watching. And I don't even know if I'm gonna upload this, but if I do, well, I guess I gave you guys content, and I gave you guys good value for you to learn, and for you to at least feel like you're heard if you're in the same situation. Never stop growing. Never stop following your own path, and no matter how hard things get, don't quit. There's always someone there for you, and that someone can be yourself most of the times, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. That's how it's supposed to go. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Thank you. Bye-bye.